Hi, my name is Carly Kattenberg, and today we're just going to take a couple of minutes to talk about ministry. I had the opportunity to sit down and talk to one of my dearest friends and mentors, who is also in the ministry, about what it looks like to be an impactful minister of the gospel today. And something that kept coming up was servant leadership. What does it look like to be a builder and not just a puller? What does it look like to build people up in the gifts and talents that God has given them, and not just look at them and say, here's what you need to do? So what are the characteristics of being someone who builds people up? It's just a person who is faithful and honest and works hard at the things that God has given them. One of the questions that we discussed the most, and that she challenged me with, is, if God is all I have, is that enough? If I didn't have the giftings and the talents that I did to encourage others and to build them in their faith, if God is all I have, is that truly enough? And so as we look at our responsibilities as people in leadership, it really comes down to three basic things. As we encounter others in ministry and who we want to build up in their faith, what are some things that we can do? First things first is to love people and to show that you care about them. No matter who you come into contact with, love first. It doesn't matter the baggage that they come with or the hopes and the dreams that they have either. What matters is that you care about them and that you see Christ within them and that they can do more for the kingdom. And how you do that is you really just start about caring for them where they are at. Whether they end up coming to the faith or not, you love them like Christ has loved and encouraged you. And so that is the first step. The second step is to teach them their purpose. Now, we are all blessed with incredible gifts and talents that God has given us. Some we wish we had, some we wish we didn't. But God has blessed us all differently. But we all live for the same purpose, which is to love God and to love people. When someone comes into the faith and you are their leader and you are encouraging them to be all that they can be in Christ, this is their purpose. Their purpose isn't to sing better for worship or to teach the gospel better. Their purpose is to love God and to love people. That is their foundation. Everything else is just a builder on top of that. And so my responsibility as a leader, as a servant leader, is to teach them their purpose, love God, and love people. And then the last thing, my responsibility as a servant leader, is to be faithful with what God has given me. Whether that is one person who I am just supposed to teach them their purpose and stand behind them and be their cheerleader for all that Christ has called them to be, or it's to 100 people, whatever that looks like, my responsibility is to be faithful in what God has given me. As leaders, as we teach this foundational faith, one of the most valuable things is teaching people why they believe what they believe. We can't truly teach people to love God and love people if our lives are not rooted within the scriptures. We don't want people to just blindly follow. We want these people to be passionate about the things that God has given them. So we need to value teaching why we believe what we believe, which means digging into the scriptures, recognizing doubts within ourselves and within others, and truly finding the understanding in the root of why are we questioning? What is happening within our brains? So let's just circle back around to this. As a leader, as a follower of Christ, if God is all you have, is that enough? When you look within yourself and you ask yourself this question, I could lead hundreds and thousands of people. But if God is all I have, are those failures or victories, do they mean anything? So I encourage you today to look at your ministry and look at, if God is all I have, is that truly enough for me? Thank you so much for joining us.